Okay, now here I'm talking more. So earlier part was more related to best practices in programming language. Here I'm talking about best practices in automation framework. Okay, so use extensive logging. Everything which is part of source code should be analyzed from logs without even looking at the source code. Okay, so let's say something fails in your test cases, so the external member should not see or should not depend on your source code to verify or see that what is wrong here. Everything should be visible inside the logs, in Jenkins logs or the logs file or the reporting. You should see that why it is failing. Either it is visible from screenshots or other details in case of UI automation, and in case of API automation it should be available in form of request and response JSON and status code and response data, and in case of any exception also shown in the logging itself rather than depending upon source code. Generate and save failure proofs outside the source code again. So during the execution you will see some failures. So for failures there is a root cause analysis needed by sometimes by different teams, sometimes by manual testers who are not working on automation, right? How will they get to know that? So always put those proofs outside the source code again. So you can either use resources or I either use some other folder where you need videos in case of UI automation. Data is very important. You need to print data and put data, output data or runtime data in that particular file. Why? Because sometimes what happens, issue only occurs with particular set of data. So this is where I see a lot of people don't print their data in logging, either in reports or logging. This is very important because it is so in my case, whenever something fails, I can see that report has this data and this test case failed for this particular data. Now they can use that data to re-verify that whether it is an actual issue or not. Screenshot in case of UI it is needed, not for APIs. Logs is important in API because API have request and response, both logs. Okay, what was the request? API endpoint, request body, headers, and then what was the response? Response code, response data, okay, and response headers. So all these 6 pointers should be printed in logs itself, both in logging as well as in reporting. Your code, okay, focus on making your code scalable and faster without compromising the code quality. Always think that how can I make this code faster? Faster means a lot of people use sleeps or a lot of to make their test code stable for their test case stability, right? Or they use some other ways where the focus is basically to pass the test rather than making them faster. So see, automation relies on two things: quality and fastness, right? You need fast results, otherwise there is no use. Because in today's world where everything is basically CI/CD, you need results in 5 to 10 minutes, right? You need feedback in 5 to 10 minutes, especially for API. You can't take more than 5 minutes. Even there is a dependency on cron jobs and etc. You need to find a way which can make this faster and scalable without making compromising in code quality. I mean, without making these hard code weights or hard code data. Okay, always think that I need code quality. Now with this code quality, can I improve my code to make it faster and scalable? And only follow that path rather than different paths. Your code should be platform and system independent. Okay, it should not happen that you put something for your system which works on Windows but does not work on Mac. Okay, one such example I can see people put. So let's say they want to read data from Excel file. What they do, they put something like that: resources plus this plus test data.excel. Right now, this may work on Windows and Linux, but it does not work on Mac. Okay, so don't use these kind of hacks try to find out what is the optimal solution. So we have file.separator. So use that. That separator is basically platform independent. So always try to create your code which is platform independent and system independent. So let's say you have some code or jar which is working for you. You put this in code commit, then other person try to use that. It is creating an issue, or it is creating a compilation issue. Don't do that. Okay, always maintain that whether this code would be platform and system independent or not. Use as many assertion as possible. Focus on automation testing rather than automation. So this is why many company feels that automation is not giving them a return of investment, because people focus on automation rather than automated testing. Okay, so in your test cases, try as many as assertion you need. Sometimes the assertion are also not present in manual test cases. Add those yourself, because you know that I need to verify this also, I need to verify this also. More assertions means more checking, and more checking means there is a more chances to get the issue. Okay, so always use many assertion you want. Okay, less assertion mean less investment in, or less return of investment in automation. So always try to add assertions. And I say that add more assertion compared to manual testers also, because they do lot of testing with their eye, but in automation eye is not present. Okay, human touch is not present. So what we can do to tell the machine, we need lot of assertion that machine can tell us that in case this happens, you see this issue. Okay, leave no hard coded data in source code. I think we discussed that already. Always think for the future. Separate out tech dependency, so the migration to the new tech is easy in case it is needed. What I'm meaning by this is, so let's say in our framework, Java related framework, we are using rest assured, we are using testng, we are using log4j. Okay, we are using maven. So maven is basically build management, that is not an issue, but log4j, testng, and rest assured, let's say in future company wants us to move in for to some other tech. Okay, so always, so now my point is, don't use testng method just like directly. Okay, because what happens in case you need to go into, let's say, JUnit in future, okay, or some other testing framework in future, then what happens? Now you need to refactor all the code present in all the test classes, right? Now, other than that, what you can do, you can create your custom class where you have all those testng methods. Now you create those, use those custom methods in your classes. Now, in case there is an migration needed from one tag to another, what you can do, you need to make changes only on one class. Okay, just make changes in the implementation in one class, and it will be reflected in all other classes. So always think of the future, because these days technology is changing very fast. Sometimes you get better solution, then you need to move on to this, right? Sometimes we need to change from Java to JavaScript. That's why what you need, you want your especially for APIs, you want your request and response payloads management outside the your source code, so that in future we want to go in some JavaScript based tool, we can reuse those response and requests and make our migration easy. Keep your tests independent for better results in multi-threading unless they are related. Always keep your test independent. There are two important advantages of this. One, it makes multi-threading easy because they are not dependent. So in case something fails in one, other case does not fail. And the second part is, sometimes there are a lot of cases you need to do or switch your cases from one classes to other or one module to another module. So if they are independent, migration will be easy. But if they are dependent, you need to check a lot of things. Like, is it, this is dependent on this method, I need to take this also, I need to take this also. And in these migration things, you see lot of issues and you waste lot of time. So always make your test independent. Every test should be independent. Okay, and use parallel is equal to methods always in multi-threading rather than parallel is equal to classes or parallel is equal to test. But in some of the cases, especially in publisher subscriber or contract related API cases or microservices, they would be dependent. So in those cases, you can have a integration class. Under that, you put all those test cases which are dependent to each other. So in case some migration is needed in the future, you only had to change one class only. Use proper documentation. I have a plugin for that, Java Autodoc, JAutodoc. You can also install it in Eclipse. I don't know if it is available for IDEA or not, but in Eclipse, this is a good plugin. So let's say I need to add documentation for it. I will click on this and add Java doc. I will see the doc automatically. Okay. So doc is almost available. It does not have author. So just add author also. And if you want some custom details, this method is used to print the sum of two numbers and something like that. Why it is needed? Author is important because your team will gonna reduce and increase over the period of time. And if something happens, I need to know that who wrote this test case, because the person who wrote this test case will fix this issue faster compared to a new person. Okay, why this is needed? Sometimes if let's say new people who needs to work on it, he will just see the declaration part, and in case there are some hacks involved in this, you can mention this here. He will know, okay, I need to do this, and this is why it is happening. Parameter, why need to you do to do this? When you access this function outside the classes and you hover on it, you would see the definition, declaration, and everything. It is very important that so all these Java docs involve such kind of declaration and definition and comments. So it becomes easy to understand why this method is used, what is the use case of this method, and where should I use this method. So for a new person, it becomes easy to reuse your method rather than he create a new method. Okay, so Java doc is available in public idea also. I don't know much about IntelliJ. I use it sometimes only. Okay, so this is done, and then create code which can be easily read and modified by others. This is the problem I see with many testers, automation tester, where they want to create a code which is complex just to show them that I have created a complex framework, especially in API automation, rather than creating, so rest assured have built-in given when then. Rather than using that, they use classes and services way, where they create an object for rest assured request specifier and specification, response specification, and then make a request using their object rather than using given when then structure. Why? Because they want to make their code complex and show usage of all the use concept rather than making it easier for the new person who is joining our team. Okay, always think that you will have different kind of person in your team. Everyone will not gonna be your level. Everyone not gonna be working for 5 years or 10 years. There would be some beginners also. So if you make the code easy and readable, it becomes for the person to easily work on it or get started on it when they join your team, right?